What is up, you beautiful people? We are live. My name is Mountaineer Paul. This is another edition of Hoops from the Hills, and today's a special day. We're going to be having one of the women's players on the show. Really excited about that, guys. Mark Kellog is building a winner. Already a winner. Inherited a pretty good team, 24-6 season, pretty deep run of the tournament until they met Caitlin Clark. Unfortunately, as most people did that met that team, they had to go home. But nonetheless, an extremely impressive performance last year in his first year. What people just weren't sure was going to happen when he inherited that team. Puts White goes to Minnesota. Really impressive job. And the job ain't done. They've been adding to a team that returns, Blackston, Quinterly, Harrison, Woodley, a lot of players, right? So who did they add? Well, we're going to be having one of those players on this evening. This is a top 20 prospect that has dealt with some injuries, still ranked in the top 100, if you can believe that, after being injured for almost 2 years. Somebody that's been through adversity already in her young life. And I was really excited when I dug into her and was able to bring her on tonight. So I would like you guys to meet WV freshman phenom, Destiny Agubata.
What's up, y'all?
How we doing, Destiny? So really excited for you to come on this evening. Like I said, you've already dealt with your share of adversity. Talking with your agent, he was really, that was one of the things that we kind of talked about that we felt would be exciting for this episode. But also just your flat out potential. You're slept on because you were injured for 2 seasons. So I'm sure your fire's burning hot. You're from California. I'm just going to go out there and jump on a limb and say, why, I'm sure you're really happy to be at West Virginia. They probably weren't even in your forefront as a sophomore, ranked top 20 in the country. So you end up at West Virginia. You're from California. How the hell did it all happen?
My whole recruitment journey was definitely a wild ride, but at the end of the day, after injury and coming back and going to a couple camps and trying to get, as much exposure as possible, it was West Virginia that came out. They kind of emerged a little late in the scene, but I knew Coach Grant from her time at Arizona and Coach Carter at his time at Texas Tech. And so when Coach Grant, ended up contacting my agent actually and contacted us, everything has happened at the right time. And West Virginia ticked all the boxes, checked everything off, good environment, came on the visit, and I was like, okay, this is the spot.
So Aaron Grant and J.C. Carter were basically the 2 coaches that played a big role in your recruitment?
Yeah, I knew them for a couple years.
Awesome. So now that you're on campus, you've met Assistant Jessica Grayson along with Coach Mark Kellog. What's your impression of that staff as a whole, and what's it like being around them? You guys have already had some summer workouts. And by the way, like I said a minute ago, Blackston, Quinterly, Harrison, Woodley are just a few names on a senior-laden team or a junior and senior-laden team that really won a lot of games last year. Mm-hmm. You're the young one. So what's it like learning from all these awesome basketball minds?
Well, I left my senior year early, and I came early, so I saw the very tail end of last season. So I was able to go there, watch all the, everyone who graduated now, everyone who's, I've seen a good amount that a lot of people haven't seen. And one thing I definitely would say going into it was that the coaching staff is very well-rounded. Like, they know what they're talking about, played the game, played many different levels, coached different levels. So that's really something I was looking forward to, was just all the experience that was around me, surrounded by me, from players to coaches. On that front, and I'm just excited to play with the team.
So this team was obviously 24-6 last year, and really most people thought they should have beat Iowa. I'm probably sure you're probably one of those people.
Yeah.
That was obviously some home cooking going on there. And I think, I did a show after that. I was upset. A lot of us were upset because obviously it looked like, now I'm not saying that Iowa team wasn't great, because they were, but it just looked like, man, it was in Iowa. Caitlin Clark is the most popular women's player almost ever at this point. And that's insane to even think about so young in her career. Mm-hmm. So on one hand, she's doing this awesome thing for the sport as a whole. And on the other hand, I'm looking at it, and my West Virginia women's team is getting kind of screwed here. I mean, I had the stats after the game, but the fouls over the last 5 minutes, it was like 17-0, something crazy, some crazy number. So obviously, this team has got a lot to play for coming into next year, and Coach Kellogg thinks you can make an impact right away. He didn't mince his words about that. I have the quote here, if you don't mind me reading the quote he said about you. Don't know if you've heard it or not. Destiny is a fantastic addition for our program, both on and off the court. She's a versatile, tough, and hard-nosed wing player that scores at every level on the court. She is a skilled player that can really stretch the floor and shoot it aggressively or attack the rim. Destiny has a good feel and nice court vision as well. She will fit defensively with her versatility and ability to guard multiple positions. Also, you excel in the classroom and will study engineering at West Virginia. You have an opportunity to make an immediate impact. West Virginia fans will love to watch you compete in the gold and blue. That says it all, right? And I, studying your tape, and I'm no Mark Kellogg by any means, but that's what I saw when I watched you yesterday, and I only saw a few clips, not going to lie. But from what I could pick at, because it's just not easy to find your high school film. It's just not. There is some out there, though. You really are a great defender. You got a lot of length. You're almost 6 feet tall. And at least you look – I mean, I thought you were bigger, to be honest, looking at you on the court. And then you got such a good mid-range game. I was so shocked to see that. Just you don't see people develop that very often anymore, but the women's game, it is more prevalent. And until I watched more of your film, the first conversation when I talked to you, I thought you were, well, maybe she's like a 3-and-D. No, you do score at all three levels. And unfortunately, I was trying to base that off just one or two clips. It's just hard to do. But, yeah, man, you get it done at all three levels. And so when you talk about yourself as a player, if you had to describe yourself to somebody, let's say you were trying to convince me to recruit you, how would you sell yourself?
I would definitely say that the way I would want to describe myself is just you gotta pick your poison. You pick one way to guard me, I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna go another way. So just kind of know you can't kind of corner me in a box because there's always a different way to get out of it. So just being versatile, which is really my biggest thing, wanting to be able to score on different levels, not really having a hard nose, okay, this is how you guard Destiny. I want to have multiple ways that you have to choose how you want to guard me.
And that shows your ranking Hoops Girls top 100 player. Even still, with after the years, and you told me before, I thought you just missed your junior year and played your senior year. Sorry, I thought I had that turned off. I thought you missed your junior and played your senior, but you're telling me no. And you were still ranked as highly as you were. That says a lot about you. So can you kind of tell everybody the timeline? Because I thought you played your senior year because it says you averaged 20 and 11, or 19 and 11.
Well, what happened sophomore year of summer going to junior year, I tore my ACL. I was out. Junior year, I came back towards playoffs time. I wanted to be able to play, hopped in 1 or 2 games, ended up shutting it down. You really want to play at that time, but it wasn't the smartest decision, so shut it back down. Senior year, coming back up right before the season, started going to a couple camps, get my recruitment up, still got to go to college. So that happened going to the preseason of senior year. I played a couple games with my high school team, maybe 3 or 4. And then after that, I decided to go to college early, committed to West Virginia, and we were out. So I was only there for the first half of my senior year. So
did you have to reclassify for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you know somebody wants you. They convince you to reclassify, which is awesome. I'm so glad you made that decision, and I'm sorry I misread the timeline. Honestly, I really am. It's almost like you're a redshirt freshman in a way because you were there, like you said, till the last year.
Yeah.
So we've got some questions here for you. A lot of comments. I'm just going to read to you, just so you get a feel for kind of how the fans are feeling about this. We've got welcome Destiny. Hey Destiny. let's see. Welcome to WVU Destiny. This is going to be a year, I feel, a really great year for you girls. Let's go. Welcome, Destiny. Timothy Green, who is a channel moderator and one of my most loyal listeners, says, Paul, I have a question for Destiny. I would like to know what you got into playing basketball to start with, and welcome to West Virginia.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you guys. I appreciate the introductions and everything. I love it here. What got me to play basketball actually was my mom. I did not like basketball, wanted nothing to do with basketball when I was younger, actually. I wanted to play soccer like how my dad did. I'm the youngest of four siblings, and my second brother played basketball, so I was like, okay, that's his sport. But to be honest, I was not good at soccer at all. I'll go to the flag for basketball. My mom and dad, my family was like, you're good at basketball, you're good at basketball. I didn't want to play it, but it came to the point where I was in a game. I was at my soccer tournament. I didn't get in the game last couple minutes. My mom pulled me out to say, you're playing basketball now. From then on, I played basketball, and now we're here. So I don't think I was a D1 soccer player, but I'm a D1 basketball player for sure.
I love that. I love that. Mark, Civil Mark, one of my other loyal listeners, says $5 super chat. Thank you, Mark. Destiny, how do you like Morgantown, and have you had a pepperoni roll yet?
Well, no, I haven't had a pepperoni roll. I know everyone told me about it. I need to go check one out and see what it's about.
Yeah. You
But
can even they can even I think you can even DoorDash them or Uber Eats them. There's a bunch of places around where you're on the campus right now.
yes, I am.
Yeah. Did you go the on campus route, or did you get your own spot, or
On campus. I'm on
on
campus.
campus?
You got to fill it out the first couple years and then see if I want to
Yeah,
expand.
absolutely. Yeah, you got to live that life for the first few years. Absolutely. Jesse Branham says, Paul, so blessed to be able to have relationships with kick-ass women like Destiny. Watch her go this year.
Yeah.
How is Coach Kellogg, and how did the facilities play a role in your decision? Yeah. How about those facilities?
The facilities are really nice. Like you can ask anyone. I first came on my visit and I walked. I don't know if you guys know how the facility looks like. There's an upper level, and you walk down the stairs, and the first thing you see is the weight room. And I'm a very big weight room person. I love lifting weights. I love everything to do with that. So it was like October time. The leaves were changing colors. It's like a big glass wall. You can just see the whole trees and everything. It was like magical. Like I love, that's probably like my favorite part of the facility was the weight room. And you have everything else, the recovery room, I'm in there all the time. Basketball facility, that's everything is just top notch. Like there's nothing I don't have here. So
That's
that
awesome.
was a big plus.
So, have you met any of the people on the guys team as well yet? Have you got to be friends with any of them, or?
Not too much actually. Sometimes our times don't realign, but I'm definitely looking
Right.
forward to them more.
I was thinking because Tucker DeVries is rehabbing. Well, he's pretty much over it, but he had a shoulder, and he was using the facilities a lot. So I was curious. Maybe you guys had ran into each other. He's a really good dude too. We had him on the show a couple months ago. So one thing, I was looking at your game too. If you don't mind me talking a little bit more about your game. You're really, really clever with screens, at least from what I can see. You can dribble with either hand, which helps a lot when dealing with screens and where to go off of screens. But your IQ playing off screens, you really play off screens well. And I was just curious if that's something you've intentionally honed, or if that's just your IQ showing up when the screens happen, or did they IC you a lot in high school?
Well, in terms of the screen and everything, it's really an IQ thing. I definitely want to be a smart player. That's kind of the biggest thing because if anything ever happens, like injuries happen, things. If you take away your physical abilities, what else do you have left? If I want to have an IQ to show up and stand out. So the big thing, like watching basketball, going like this practice, repeated practice, and that has led to all those decision making.
Let me see if I can. Let me look here. I think I might have that, if you don't mind. I think I might have the thing here where I seen a couple of your highlights that are accessible. Let's see. Are you okay with that? Me showing some of your highlights. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So let me screen share really quick. Make sure I got no more super chats. Okay. All right. So Here we are on X and Santiago. Yep, that's you. Just wanted to make sure that was you. So that's you, correct? You just made that
Yeah.
shot.
No, I passed the ball for the shot.
You
Assisted the
passed the
shot.
ball for the shot? Thank
Yes.
you. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. You are you really 5'11", or have you grown? Because you are so much taller than some of these girls on the court.
We might have to remeasure it, but I definitely say I play. My heart is a little bit
Which
bigger than my height. I have the
which I
heart.
mean, right, I understand that. In the women's game, I have to realize too, 5'11", 6 feet tall is above average in the women's game. You know, even in the college level. I mean, your forwards and centers are usually right around 6'3" or 6'4" in college. So a 6 foot guard in 5'11", 6 foot guard in women's, I guess, would be similar to a 6'3", 6'4" wing player in men's. Sometimes you forget that 5'11" is not small for women. So I guess that's why you look so much taller. And you can tell. Did you lift even in high school as well?
Yeah, I did.
You can tell. You can tell. And I don't. I know you have to be careful commenting on women and their bodies and things like that. And I mean, no offense. I'm just saying, you you look so much better than the girls you're on the court with. It's just the truth. So I mean, I can see why people were excited about you and everything like that. So, is this is before the injury happened?
No, this is after. This is coming back. This is coming
This
back
is
to
coming back.
the first couple games I played before I left.
And how did that feel? Was there some rust?
There was definitely some rust. Things. It's just like kind of like a step or two behind.
Right.
Just trying to get back into the flow of the game and everything. So that's why these first couple games were really important before I left off. So yeah, this is definitely some rust though.
Yeah. Gotcha. So, did you have your hair dyed? Is that what that is there, or is
Oh
that like a
yeah, yeah. I
okay?
had my hair dyed. I had the puff, had the
I
blonde.
can see that. I like that. That's cool. I like it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Here's another clip I found, by the way, and there we are.
Yep.
All right. So let's see what this one looks like really quick, and then we'll move on. Oh, that's the same one. It's just the same one posted twice. I think. No, here it is. Sorry, I've clicked the same one twice. It was my fault.
It's totally fine. We got a good
So
highlight.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a beautiful play. And so another thing I noticed is you're comfortable going over either shoulder. And just like on that play, if you needed your left, you could have used it. But that was a beautiful turnaround jumper, and that's what I was talking about, the mid range, which, that's a little bit closer in, but that's I mean, look at that. You got a really soft touch. You really do. Um, has Kellogg told you? Do you think you'll be handling the ball a lot in his offense, or will you be posting people up, or have they really talked to you about what your role is going to be yet?
We have had some conversations, but it's kind of a mix of everything, how things progress, advantages that we have. So it's all it's kind of forming over time. We still getting, people are coming onto the team, still working with the team, seeing what we have, but definitely there's going to be a mix of both. I would that we have some conversations about it, so there's going to be a mix.
If I were your coach, and I'm not Kellogg, I said that once again. I'm just, we're just talking here, but I mean, as big and as strong as you are, and you like to lift, you say that. I would imagine posting you up. I mean, you just seen that right there. That's a classic. That's a classic post move. Drop step, and you try to fade away off of it. And there's so many things you can do off just that one drop step.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pass it, you can pump it. There's so many you can get a foul. So I just think it's a valuable thing to have in your offense. And I hope that they do that with you, because you're going to play some bully ball. And I can tell you like to play bully ball.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. You can ask my teammates. I definitely do.
Put that shoulder down, huh? And you got a really
Yeah.
competitive streak in you too. I saw a couple highlights where um, you definitely get vocal, and you're like, yes, I love that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Russell Snyder wants to know: was there a culture shock when you moved here?
Um, I guess a tad. It's definitely different from the city that I'm used to. I'm in California, next to LA.
Yeah.
City life and everything. Now we're kind of a little bit removed, smaller
Mhm.
town, smaller city. So that was the biggest thing. But I definitely acclimated to it well. I like the vibe. I like, being able to walk out. You see the people. You know who's really in your town, who you're, with. So it was a little bit of a culture shock, but it was a good one.
And so the sponsor of this video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about that now that we've got everybody in here, is Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint. We want to thank Magic Spa and Tint for helping us do this today, and helping Destiny to get on here. Um, I kind of made a little blooper. I was supposed to send you something to say about Magic Shine. So if you don't mind, can you just say something about them sponsoring the video for us?
Well, shout out to Magic
Magic
Auto
Shine Auto Spot. Yep.
Magic
Magic
Shot Auto
Shine.
Spot.
Yep.
Check them out. Thank you for sponsoring. Appreciate y'all.
Sorry about that. I totally forgot to send you the line, and that was total completely my fault. Um, so I'm going to read off the ad for them really quick. I should have done that before I brought you on, but to be honest, I was so focused on doing the video that I just completely missed it. So
It's
people
totally
make mistakes. All right, give me 1 second. I'll read this ad really quick. Today's video is sponsored by Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint in Morgantown, West Virginia. And Magic Shine, your car is their priority. They love to do tint. They love to do wraps. Whatever you need, they got it. Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint. Shine on, Morgantown. All right. So they do tint and they do detail work. So they do not do wraps, but they do tint. They do a bunch of different stuff. It's a really great place. Sean, he's usually here in the chat. I don't think he made it today, but really great guy, man, and really appreciate all he does for the channel. So just a really good dude. All right, so we got a few more questions here, Destiny. They say, hey, Paul, what is Destiny most excited about for the future of women's basketball?
Interesting question. Okay. I'm really just excited for this more engagement, more people, recognizing it, watching it. It has grown a lot in the last couple of years, and rightfully so. And I'm just excited for more people to be more excited about it.
Yeah, well, I think we're there, and one thing about West Virginia is it don't even have to be a winner, but especially if there's a winner, people will watch, even when teams have lost in the past, people watch, but coming off the season you guys just had with who you have coming back, is there anybody on the team that has taken you under their wing? I mean, obviously there are some pretty big stars on this team
Mm-hmm.
returning. Are any of them kind of taking you under their wing? Have you gotten close to anybody, anything like that you want to speak on?
Well, I'll definitely say it's kind of like a group thing. Everyone kind of have taken me under their wing, and it's all kind of been growing from the end of last season till now. Just watching and growing, and them giving me pointers during practice. It's kind of been a group effort, and that's kind of the biggest thing about the team that I saw, even on the visit and now, is that like we're very united, we're very together, which I feel like you can see on the court and videos and all that. So it's kind of just been a group thing. So yeah.
Oh, here we go, Destiny. So Mark said, Destiny, as a civil engineer, I would like to know what engineering field you're going into.
I'm going to mechanical engineering. That is the field. I was actually thinking about civil engineering, but I decided to branch out a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you for answering it. And thank you for another $5 super chat, Mark. Means a ton, man. Let's see. Jared, welcome. Oh, that's not for you. Michelle Weintraub, another one of my loyal listeners, says, welcome to WVU. We are so glad you chose West Virginia. Destiny, do you have a favorite basketball player? This is what I was going to ask.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear the answer.
A favorite? It has changed over the years, but I don't know if I can
Right.
say favorite, but it's definitely people who I model my game after.
Can I guess? Candace Parker.
Ooh, I've watched some film on her. Yes, I've watched some film on her, but from I'll say from the NBA side, I'll go Carmelo Anthony. I watched some of him. Yep.
Oh, I can see that.
Coming through. So from him, I do watch some Candace Parker. It's just a wide range of people. You get a lot of things from a lot of different people. So, but Carmelo, I definitely watch him, and
Man, I'm a
definitely.
big Melo fan.
Mm-hmm.
Big Melo fan. Kobe said he was probably his toughest person for him to defend because of how he is in the paint. Um, he made a living down there. Carmelo could have been a small forward that didn't have any jumper at all. And he was a great player because of
Mm-hmm.
his post game alone gave everybody problems. So love watching him play, man. Timothy said, "Can't wait to watch you play this year. I think it's going to be a very good year for WVU."
I do too. I do too.
All right. Let's see. We have any more questions for you? I think there's one more. Timothy, one more time, wants to know. I have a question for Destiny. I would like to know what got her into basketball to begin with. I think you told that story, didn't you?
I
About your
did.
mom. You
I
may have
did.
missed it, Timothy, but basically she tried soccer, didn't work out for her. Her mom said, "You know what? You're playing basketball." Is that the long and short of it?
Yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Okay. Okay. And oh, by the way, just so I can let me see what it says. We got 63 watching on over on X. Thank you guys. Well, actually 68 if you count Hoops from the Hills, and then another 50 or so here on YouTube. So we thank you guys for joining us and supporting this episode. This is the first, won't be the last women's player that I've had on. So I'm really excited that there's been a decent turnout for this and support for Destiny. It means a lot. So I wanted to talk about just really quick before we get off here. We got just a few more, maybe 10 or 15 more minutes, if that's okay with you. You got the
That's really
time?
fun.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to talk about the injury just a little bit more, if you don't care to dive into that. What did it hurt? Like, so is it ACL or MCL? What was it?
ACL.
ACL.
Yeah.
So that's a tough injury, especially as you were a kid, right?
Mhm.
And so you're still young, obviously, but what was that like for you psychologically, being so highly ranked? Did you feel like the world was over at the time? I mean, because you're a kid,
Um,
like
well, my experience was very different from many other people's ACL experience or recovery experiences that I've heard. But tearing my ACL is probably the best thing that has happened to me. Even though
really,
the time I tore it was kind of like my come up in AAU. Things were going good, getting offers, stuff like that. Um, I tore it, but that was during my transition. I was transferring from one high school to the next. It was just a lot of transition in my life, and that kind of just like allowed me to just slow down, learn about myself, learn about my body, and just kind of build myself up, literally brick by brick. Like I came out of the surgery, I could not lift my own leg. Like I couldn't do any of that. So it was basically building brick by brick, and I just feel like it was a very important time for me to have. It was a good break to have. I know I started a little bit later in basketball, starting like going to sixth grade or so. And I know some people started from like 3 years old, straight out the womb, touching a ball, but it just gave me that kind of that psychological break and allowed me to really learn about myself and build myself up. So it was kind of the best thing that happened to me.
wow, that's a really deep answer. Obviously, you've had a lot of time to think about that. So yeah, sometimes like I can think back to times in my life when I've had setbacks. Um, and a lot of people like this. My whole channel knows this. Everybody knows this. I'm in recovery. I had an issue with addiction for 13 years, and so I came out of that and have changed my life. But there have been times where I had a similar thing happen where I needed to be redirected. So really, really can relate to that on it. And even though it's a different way, I mean, it's still the same sentiment. So, like how you explained that, I can see what they're talking about. With obviously, you're very smart, and in the you can just tell by people talking to you, you do real well in the classroom. Um, is that something that you like? Is school something you enjoy?
It definitely is. I do like school. I do like learning.
Yeah, you can
I
tell.
like when things are challenging, so it's right up my alley.
I don't mean to be over a compliment. I'm one of those people. One of my love languages I found out is words of affirmation. I'm just that.
Ah,
Like I'm just that type person. I always build people. That's just who I am. So I'm not trying to like. I'm not like a suck up. I guess like it's just who I am. But
I appreciate it.
you really do have like an awesome energy about you. So I'm glad we did the interview. I really see big things for you. I think you're going to be great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So appreciate that, Eric. I really do, man. Russell wants to know, what are your interests outside of basketball?
Outside,
Yeah.
that's the big thing going to college. I want to have hobbies. Like we have a lot of time on the court, a lot of time in in school, but I wanted to have a lot of hobbies. So I just like to do anything active, whether I be on the water, walking around, going on a walk. I wanted to get into ceramics or just things, expressing myself, art, fashion. I love fashion, like shoes. Um, but things like that, or even just spending time with people, board games, card games, but just very genuine interactions with others, or it can even be on my own. But I just like to immerse myself in different things.
Awesome. That's really cool. You play video games at all? You don't
I
sound like
don't. I'm so
it.
bad at video games. I can't. I can't. I
Oh,
can't
you're too competitive, aren't you?
that, and it's like even like Fortnite and stuff, I can't move my vision, shoot a gun, and run at the same time while someone else is shooting me. That just doesn't work. So I stick with my Sudoku and Wordscape.
Sudoku. Gosh, you're an old soul.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So, Smack the Devil, another one of my loyal listeners, wants to know: do you enjoy defensive play, and what would you rank your skill level in defense? Is it something you aspire to get good at, or are you more offensive minded? This is a pretty detailed question. Also, you have a beautiful smile. It's bright and warm.
Oh, thank you. I do enjoy defensive play. Like that's kind of a big thing for me. Like competing basketball, you're competing on both sides of the court. And obviously, if I didn't like defense, I kind of came to the wrong school. We pressed 40 minutes, and that's kind of like a big part of our identity. So I definitely love
Absolutely.
defense. And ranking my skill level, we are on a different level now. So I'll keep it. I'm gonna keep it modest. I got a lot to learn about. And then is it something I aspire to get good at or even more offensive minded? I definitely aspire to be good at defense. I want to be able to play any part of the press, any part of the half court defense, man. Like I want to be able to switch. I don't want to be a liability on the court. And I just want to be able to help my team in any way that needs to be done. So I'm both minded. You gotta pay attention to both. You can't slack on one, you're gonna lose the other.
I love it. I love it. Have you had to guard anybody in practice? It's kind of like, oh, she's good yet? Like anybody?
I'm not gonna lie, JJ has given me a ton of buckets, but that's how
I already
you
know. I
know.
already know. I wasn't going to bring her up, but yeah.
They're off camera, might have some on camera, but just playing against my teammates, just challenging me. So that's just how you get better. Gonna have
Yeah,
a couple
she's a
clips.
tough player, man. I mean, she really is.
Yep.
What a player to learn from for you, though. I mean, goodness gracious, she doesn't get much better. I mean, she's easily a
Mhm.
top 20 player in the country, so maybe
Definitely.
even higher. You consider that she's a two-way player, the best defender in the conference, in my opinion. Uh, you know, and then offensively, she can give it to you, even though people know her more for the defense, it seems like anymore. But that's cool that you guys have going at it and stuff. It'll be iron sharpens iron, though. So
Hmm.
that's right. Defense does lead to offense, Mark, no doubt. Well, I really appreciate you for coming on. This has been a fun talk. I'm gonna look at my notes and make sure I didn't have anything. Oh yeah, one more thing. So Josh, Emmanuel, and Ashley, your siblings, correct?
Yes.
So, are they into sports? And how close are you guys? Are you really close to your family or your siblings?
Yes, especially with growing up in like a Nigerian household, we are family is what you have. That was definitely stress and preached to us. We're always together, especially growing up. So, yeah, we're very close. We all play sports. My sister is the oldest; she played volleyball. Second oldest was Emmanuel. He played basketball. Then third oldest danced and swam. He did a whole ton of stuff. So he's very active family. My parents were always out every weekend, taking us to practices and everything. So it just runs
Wow.
in the family.
So, are you the youngest or?
Yeah, I am. I'm the baby of the family. I should have asked you
Oh no,
that energy off.
that's funny. That's funny. Is there any sibling rivalries in the family?
No, we're very chill. We're very
Yeah.
chill. We don't go on each
Okay.
other's necks or anything.
Well, I mean, listen, me and my sister got competitive from time to time, but there was an age gap too, so you
Uh-huh.
know. Okay, well, I think that's all the notes that I have. I want to make sure I got everything in because uh, there was a lot to talk about. So, really appreciate you for coming on. This is a fun conversation. We'll be looking forward to the season. And now that I've got your number, I'll text you from time to time just to check in with you. Um, couldn't thank you enough for doing this.
Hey, thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for everybody for tuning in, watching, asking the questions and everything. And this is gonna be a good season. I can't wait to play for y'all.
Yep, same here. Guys, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new to Hoops from the Hills. Also, Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. The website we have, wvinsiders.com. Please check it all out. We'll be doing a giveaway. Voice of Morgantown will be giving away 2 tickets to the Penn State game. Please go like and share his comment, I believe it was, on his page. Um, and then I'll also be giving away some tickets to games on this channel to some home games through the Magic Shine connection. And I'm not sure which tickets we're going to have yet, but we're going to have some tickets to give away for the upcoming football season. Which are you looking forward to? You football person?
I don't know where the ball is at half the time, but I'll go cheer. Put some face paint on.
Yeah. Look, this is the year for us. We're I don't know if you heard or not, but there are a lot of high expectations on that side too.
Ooh.
So they're definitely they're coming off a 9-win season that could have been 10 wins, and a lot of us feel like they're going to win that many, if not more, again this year. So we'll see what happens. But when football is good in Morgantown, it gets crazy. So you'll see.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining the channel tonight, and supporting the show. If you can, share this out with anybody. If you're on X, on Facebook, wherever you are. Until then, though, we thank you guys. And oh, by the way, I just need to talk to you for like 2 minutes after the show, Destiny.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for everything you do. We'll see you next time. This episode is over, and we are out.
Peace out.